Part two of the roster breakdown series, the Illini basketball podcast, 2024-25 season. Not a lot of people know that. It's a lie. But I think it's important to give the context to the people on what we're talking about here, what season this is. I mean, some people might not want to look at what the date is on YouTube if they're watching this 2 years from now. They could be looking at the wrong thing, although it will be in the title. What a pointless way to start. All right. We did the transfers in the last episode. Thought it went okay, this is a team that is heavy transfers and freshmen. 5 and 5. 5 transfers, 5 freshmen, and a couple returning players making up the roster. And today we have to talk about the freshmen because I would say this is the biggest collection of semi-high profile freshmen that Illinois has had with Brad Underwood in one class. The only other comparison would be the Adam Miller, Andre Curbelo class, which was only 3 guys, and they were both, 4-star guys. This class became altered a lot this summer. So it was kind of a situation where this class was headlined by Marez Johnson. Then Will Riley reclasses and comes along. Then they bring in 2 international guys that come in as freshmen. This class looks completely different than I thought it would a year ago. Fact.
Yeah. I think it was Marez Johnson and Jaxties was the only 2
and
until this summer.
What's his face? The lefty that decommitted.
Oh.
Oh boy. We have to get his name without looking it up. It'd be a bad look.
What
was his name? Damn it. No. Alfonso Plummer, no. Well, we tried our best.
Great. This is a great start. Start.
It's good. We don't want to be all dressed up and scripted, BS. 2024 class decommit. What the hell was his name? Jace Butler. I was on track with the J. And let's also not forget about Jeremiah Fears, who when he was committed to Illinois, he was 2025, right? But then obviously switched.
He left to reclass,
Yeah, Oklahoma, great, dead end. All right, let's start out with the best of the class. On paper, maybe? Is he the best? I don't know. I think a lot of people would probably say that.
I would say so, yeah.
Will Riley, who he's going to wear number 7 this year at Illinois. I'm not trying to like that a lot. Doesn't feel like an elite player's number, but that's subjective.
What's wrong with number 7? I think
in basketball, I don't think it's great.
Number.
In basketball, I don't think it's great. I think it's much better as a
hockey number.
No.
Oh, cricket. Do they wear numbers in cricket?
Will Riley is 6'8", 180. He's a 5-star according to 247, number 20 in the class. Remember, he was in the 2025 class before reclassing. He played the Phelps School in Pennsylvania last season, prep school. This is from the University of Illinois site on him in high school or prep school or whatever. He's from Canada. Let's also throw that out there. He averaged 21.9 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 2.5 assists during EYBL action and was named offensive MVP of the EYBL Indy session. Starring for UPlay Canada, he erupted for 42 points with 6 3-pointers and 5 assists against Team Durant during opening night play in Indianapolis. So that's something. I feel like we probably heard about that or discussed that at some point. I remember hearing the 42-point thing. It's the quotes section. Adam Finkelstein, 247 Sports, June 2023, had this to say. I don't know if it's 2023 or 24. Probably 24. Probably the year wrong there. If I had to guess. I rushed this big time.
Sure. You said RecNet in this, so.
Riley's a prolific scorer with perimeter size and some very instinctive craft. While he's put up huge numbers in RecNet months, which is, by the way, that's from the article. I
copied and pasted it in. Yeah.
There's still a lot of room for continued development as he builds up his body. There's a lot of things that have been said about his frame and where he's at right now and how talented he is. and how there's a lot of skill to build upon, which I think is kind of the case for a couple of guys in this class. But obviously him more so than other in terms of ceiling. I think he's right there as a pro. College ceiling, I don't know if it probably is the highest just because he's probably the most talented player, but the next guy could be just as talented. Who knows? A lot of people are saying a lot of positive things. Is the Will Riley against Butler thing real, like in the scrimmage or whatever they did? I don't think that's real.
I don't think so. It sounds like it was more situational. There was an account on Twitter that said that he scored 22 and led the Illini. I think it's from the guys that say that they know people or whatever. I don't know what their shtick is, but it sounds like he performed well as far as, points or whatever. I don't really know that. What I've noticed is like Rivals shared a picture of him next to Slav or Big Hummer, one of those guys, and he looks like he's 6'10" now. Like he looks like he's already taller than those guys. So I don't know if he's still growing or not, but I mean, he's got length, tons of athleticism. I don't think there's any way he doesn't start, right? I know we've talked about this forever, but
yeah, it'd be hard to
he's
not
got
start.
to have a starting role on this team right now.
I think they will start the season with 2 freshmen starting, maybe 3. Because I think 2 of the guys of these 5 are, if one of them is not available to play when the season begins, the other one will start, is what I'm thinking. But
right.
I think he's a great fit for what basketball is right now. He's got a big frame and he's got guard skills. Like it's not Kevin Durant level, but it's like similar. And I don't think Illinois has ever had a freshman or a prospect like this.
Yeah.
Where he's 6'8", maybe even taller now. He probably is. And has these types of skills. So right. I'll be curious to see how that translates in year 1. He's going to play a different role, so he'll handle it. I think he'll be effective off the ball, and he's got a lot of tools, and he'll be versatile on both ends. I mean, a lot of people have said about him that his defensive, ability or his defensive tape as of this very moment is not great, but when you're that big and you have the tools, you can turn him into something defensively.
Right, and I know that Brad's kind of worried about this team defensively, but if you have that much length, I mean, the kind of lineups that Brad's going to be able to put out with all the length and the guys that can still handle the ball, I think it's going to be hard to score on them regardless of, how bad their defense is.
You can get stops on accident with teams like this, I think.
Yeah, throw an arm out with a 7-foot wingspan, you're going to knock some balls away. So
I'm guessing he'll score 11.1 points per game, 2.4 rebounds, 1.7 assists. I think it's maybe conservative points-wise. I think he could probably average 15.
15, yeah.
Yeah. 41, 31, 79 splits. I think he'll be good, solid from the field. We'll take 41, I guess. Three-pointer, I mean, if you go to Illinois, you're a wild card. Like, I have the next guy shooting like 100% from 3. So, and then he ranked 22nd in ESPN's 2025. Oh yeah, by the way, 79% from the free throw line. I apologize, which I'll take. Anything above 75, that's the bar for Illinois.
Yeah,
not last year. True. Last year they were a good free throw shooting team last year. Probably because their best player was their best free throw shooter.
That definitely helps. The guy that gets the line the most shoots the best. So
he ranked 22nd in ESPN's 2025 draft rankings on October 7th. We talked about that in the podcast a couple weeks ago or a week ago. Those rankings, are there 3 Illini on that? 2?
I think there were 4.
Oh, Boswell and who? Booth?
Yeah.
Visich? No,
not Booth.
Jake
Riley,
Davis?
Kasparis.
Jake Davis, yeah.
Boswell and
Merez?
I don't think it was Merez.
Visich?
I don't know.
Had to be Visich. Who else would it be?
I don't know.
Trey White?
Trey White? No.
Coleman Hawkins?
Wasn't.
All right, do you want to do Kasparis next or Jaxties?
I'll do Jaxties, sure.
Yeah, get this one out of the way.
Jason Jaxties.
I kept saying the next guy. I wasn't hinting at this guy, by the way.
Number 31 is what he's wearing this year. 6'10", 200 pounds, a little skinny guy. He is from Yorkville, Illinois, so he's in-state guy. He's a 3-star. He's ranked 131st nationally. He was the number 4 ranked player in the state. I don't know what that says about the state of Illinois basketball, but
not great.
His stat breakdowns from last year, high school. I also took this from the U of I website. He scored 1,000 points while he was at Yorkville. He averaged 16 points per game, 9 rebounds per game as a senior, and had all-state honors. The most recent quote is Brad saying that he is the waffle eating champion because he needs to pack on pounds. He is quite skinny.
Humrick House 79.
Humrick House, that's right.
Yeah.
Where he will fit in with this roster, with Marez Johnson, Thomas Slav when he's eligible. If he's eligible, who knows? And then Kerry Booth. And I apologize. I think that I kind of shot down Kerry Booth in the first episode.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a lot more playing time than I think. So that's on me. I will take that. I think Kerry Booth is impressing right now. Some highlight tapes have been pretty good. I think he's doing good things. And again, with Tomislav, maybe out until next year, the 2025. I think that he's probably going to get more run than I thought. We have speculated that would Jack Stees redshirt. I haven't heard anything about that. I assume that he will be there and playing. My projection for his stats for the 24-25 season is 0.3 points per game, 1 rebound per game. And you know what? If he can pack on some pounds and Antigua can make him better, who knows? In 4 or 5 years, he might be a first rounder in the NBA draft.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's definitely talented. He's not Brandon Lieb.
Right. I agree. I assume that he isn't going to redshirt just because of the Tomislav thing. If you have injuries, I mean, you're going to have to throw him out there to play the 5 some. But I hear there's things about Humrick Houses might play the 5 a little bit, kind of like how Coleman did last year. So we'll see.
All right. Next up, Casper Jackon, maybe the most hyped player on this team.
I'd say 100% the most hyped.
Especially when you combine the people outside of the program or people covering the game nationally also with him. Surprisingly, a little bit, because Will Riley is the top 20 player. Yeah. Anyway, Jack Jones, the way they talk about him, though, maybe he's a top 10 guy in this class if he's, part of a freshman 247 ranking, which he's not. So, Lithuanian guard, a lot of big basketball experience in Europe, which a lot of these guys have, and I think that is a good thing. Last season,
are you going to tell the fans what number he's wearing
number
this
32?
Year so
I apologize. Number 32. Him and Jaxies look a little similar, like in the face.
Yeah, they do.
Let me find the thumbnail for this episode. You can kind of those guys look the same. Why did he put the same player twice? Some people might think that,
Yeah,
because they
do. I believe Jack Stees was number 32 in high school, so it just tells you how the players rank.
Yeah, 32. Yeah. I'm surprised Jaxies didn't get the rights to 32 then.
I know. He committed way before everybody else.
Yeah, he definitely had other places to go. I can't find it, but you'll see in the thumbnail for this episode that they do kind of look similar. He's 6'6", 200, by the way, listed on the U of I site. Barca 2 last season, 19 games, 19.2 points per game, 6.6 rebounds per game, 5.7 assists, 1.6 steals, 59% from 2, the Eurobasket site for stats, and Euro basketball give you 2-point percentage, not field goal. 37.7 from 3, 88.6 from the free throw line. And then for Barca in the Spain under-19 league, 7 games, 20 points per game will round up. 6.4 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.7 steals, 53% from 2, 40 from 3, 86 from the free throw line. Good splits there. Draft Digest staff with 1 F instead of 2, apparently. At SI, they said this on August 17th of this year. Quote, Before going to Illinois, Jack Jonas became, sounds like a first and last name there, became one of the youngest players to ever suit up for a premier European club, FC Barcelona. He primarily spent his time with the club's second team, but did get some limited experience with the top squad. Those were the second stats I listed there, 20 points per game, I think. I think those are the stats. There might be another set of stats I didn't write that they're referencing, but besides the point. Longer term on the international stage, he will look to make an impact with Lithuania's senior national team in the coming years as he continues to improve. He's one of the country's best prospects in recent history and has high expectations. So I'm assuming they're talking about Lithuania. A lot of these types of guys don't go to college. They don't play in college. That's why the point about Yegor Dimon at BYU, who is former future Illini, and Jack Jonas, a lot of these guys don't play college basketball. Where he fits this roster, I think he'll play on and off the ball. I'd really like to see him be – because I think – I don't know if we can guarantee that he's ready for it, but I want him to be the primary ball handler. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And that's not a shot at Kylan Boswell. I thought LaTulip's idea about Drew Holiday role for Boswell, I think that was good. Because Kylan Boswell – whatever his role was at Arizona, I don't think it's going to be the exact same in Illinois. However,
he was the 2 guard at Arizona, though, right? With
in a lot of ways, yes. With Caleb Love there, yes, yeah. I think that might be the best version of him. I think there's something to that. I think he could be really elite with the ball if the tools, if everything translates. Which that's not a guarantee. It's a big transition when you're doing this. But I'm not gonna expect him to be elite right away. But I'd be surprised if he's not very good right away.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some shakiness to him, start off the season or whatever. But I think that he'll kind of get into that role as Illinois gets into probably Big Ten play. Hopefully before that, when they're playing some high caliber teams, some really good brands, as John Rothstein would say.
Right. I'm kind of thinking that he'll be like the lead scorer on the team, maybe, but who knows? I don't know if one guy's gonna really stand out enough.
Right. I would agree.
13.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 3.7 assists is what I project. He also seems like the type of guy that'll be better from three than inside the 3-point line this year. I can feel crazy. That.
Yeah.
38%. Like, I think even though he's got the frame where he can score from anywhere, like I feel like he's going to absolutely stroke it from 3 this year, but then miss some mid-range jumpers and around the rim when we don't want him to. So 38, 42, 90 is my splits. I think he's going to be an elite, maybe the best free throw shooter Brad's ever had at Illinois. Which
kind of good.
The only competition for that is what? Alfonso Plummer? That's I get. Alfonso Plummer was like the only elite free throw shooter Illinois had in the past 8 years that Brad's been here. Is there anybody I'm forgetting? I mean, there can't be, right? Plummer was 87% Plummer, which I feel like that went down because he have like a really long streak of not missing.
Yeah.
So
I believe so. He kind of has that Matthew Meyer step back 3 too, so I know you're gonna love that.
Well, here's the difference between those two is that this guy appears to be much more talented. It's not a shot at my guy either. Well, Matthew Meyer was not ranked 15th in ESPN's NBA draft rankings.
Is Matthew Meyer playing in the G League?
Probably. Why wouldn't he be? He's one of the best G League players ever, probably. All right, next up, Tomislav Ivisic, the big man from Croatia.
Yeah, he's going to be wearing number 13 this year. Nice lucky number for him. 7'1", 230 pounds. The big question is, when's he going to be able to play basketball? If you look at his brother, I don't think that he was eligible until January. So you would think that they would get this figured out, but I guess it has something to do with his pro status over in Croatia or wherever he was playing before. And trying to get that all figured out. So his stat breakdown from last season for SC Derby. Can you do that in an accent or something for me?
No.
Okay. 24 games in ABA League, 7.3 points per game, 3.9 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists per game. almost a block per game, shot 63.5% from 2, 40% from 3, and 87% from the line.
There's a generous roundup on the line.
What, 0.3?
You said almost a block. You're just giving him a block per game.
Oh, almost a block. Yeah. Anyways, Brad Underwood in the quote section says, Tomislav is a modern-day five-man who fits into our style of play as a big who can space the floor. He can play in pick and rolls, is an elite passer, and can step out in space and shoot threes. He also is very good rim protector. Tomislav has played a lot of high-level basketball against older established competition. That experience has made tremendous impact on his development, and we are excited to add someone with his skill and versatility to our program.
And then the rest of this is basically to be determined, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't know where he's going to fit in the roster.
Let's put it this way. If he's eligible, I think he's your day one center. If he's eligible, I would think, right? Like
just because of his size. I mean,
well, he shoots 40% from 3. Good free throw shooter. Obviously can pass the ball. I mean, I did a little bit of a film breakdown. Not sure if you heard about it. Maybe I'll post that on the YouTube if it doesn't get stricken down, but
okay.
I got a 15-20 minute breakdown video on this guy. Waste of time if he's not going to play right away. But the skill, he's got a lot of skills, a lot of European type skills.
Yeah. And I mean, you talked about Will Riley and the modern game and stuff like that, and that's what I think Brad is really trying to push with Illinois. He's trying to break away from the old school Big Ten. And kind of go more NBA style. So
there's a reason why I hate when people call Brad stubborn, when he's like the most adaptable coach in the conference, maybe in the sport, one of.
Yeah.
Like he gets transfers. He changes the way that his teams play almost every year. Like the 2021 team that got a 1 seed was much different than last year's team that got to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
They played a completely different defense, and their offense, I think, was a little similar to 2021, but they didn't have an elite 5, so they played a lot more outside the perimeter. So I hate, like, Brad looks like a stubborn guy, but he's just not.
Right.
He's just not. It's proven. I wish I could talk about this and save that topic again for the podcast episode.
Okay.
That's what I'll say about that. I'm just going to write down Brad's adaptability on the next podcast thingy so we can remember. Anyway, I want to talk about that more. But this is a YouTube video. We got to keep it, keep it tight.
Not anybody to yell at here.
So. No. Last one. Lose my voice. Marez Johnson. Jesus. I don't have any water. 31st nationally. We're going to wear number 21, by the way. 6'9", 225.
Great number.
It's fine.
I can break out the jersey again. It's been very unlucky, and I have to wear it before the tournament.
You should test it and wear it for the Eastern game. If they lose the Eastern, then we know.
Then we'll burn it live.
31st nationally on 247, 4-star from Thornton Township, where Ty Rogers played. Number 1 player in the state of Illinois. Played St. Rita's before this, right? That sounds right. His high school stats are completely irrelevant, but he played 34 games, averaged 17 and 14, 3.5 assists, 2.5 steals, 3.4 block. I mean, it's meaningless. I could do that.
Are you saying that because Jack Stees is the number 4 player in Illinois last year?
No, I'm saying that because he didn't play high-level prep basketball.
Right. So these are paltry numbers.
Yeah, I can do that. October 11th, Brad Underwood said this: Marez Johnson is a guy we have not had in our program at 6'9", 255. Is he 255? Maybe I wrote down the weight wrong.
225 you have up top.
But then Brad
says no way he's 255.
That was the quote.
There is no way.
Copied and pasted it. It must have been Joey Wagner writing it wrong. You can throw it up and he can just get it from about anywhere. A guy who's created quite a niche for himself, rebounding the basketball and defensively. Sounds like Amani Hansberry. Where he fits this roster, I think he could start at the 5. I think he's going to be the 5-man if Ivisic is out when the season begins. And I can't really project a season because I think it's dependent on the role. And SI says he's a potential second-round pick in the 2025 NBA draft. They have a little profile on him as well. So, good freshman class.
Confirmed 225 pounds.
Yeah, Brad's an idiot.
Are you worried that freshmen are going to play such a big role on this team this year?
No, I think it's college basketball.
Because the talent level is so good?
Yeah, I think that's – if we're talking about less talented freshmen, that certainly changes things. But these are highly talented freshmen, and the transfers have some decent experience. I mean, Kylan Boswell is a very young junior, but he's played a lot. And Humrickhouse, played a lot before going to Evansville last season. And Trey White played a lot of minutes at USC and Louisville his first 2 years for loser programs. Now he gets to be with the winner program. So, all right, the next episode of this, I think we're just going to combine everything into two because there's only two returning players to discuss, right?
Whoa.
DGO, right?
Future in red.
No, we're not. Nope. Rogers and DGL. And I think we'll combine that into the overall roster talk in that episode because what's the point in doing a episode just those two? I mean, they're fine.
I agree.
It'll be 2 minutes.
It would be very short, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do that next. I think we'll probably have a podcast episode in between this and that. So we'll see everybody next time for 224.
Subscribe, like, comment, do those things.
And we'll be back with podcast episode, then another episode of this after that, and then the season's going to be starting very soon. College basketball preview show is going to be coming out soon as well. I'm already working on stuff for that, the college basketball. So
it's good.
I'll be dominating that one. All right. Goodbye.